Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike, and I'm excited to share another Divi tutorial with you. My goal here is to make learning Divi as straightforward as possible. Today we're going to see how to place two Divi buttons next to each other. It seems simple, but it's always been a bit of a headache. So we're going to do that in Divi 5. I have done a video previously, I'll link to it in the top right here, where I have shown you how to do this in Divi 4. But that requires a little bit of code. So I'll link to this article in my description below in case you are using Divi 4, but you would need to make use of this code over here. Today we're going to do it though using Divi 5. And the effect that we're going to go is the same kind of look and feel as what we did in the Divi 4, but we're going to get it done using Divi 5 without using any code. All right, you can make it even more fancy if you do add a little bit of code, but we're going to do it without any code. So if that's something you might be interested in, just hit that like button and let's jump right in. All right, so the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add a new page. And in this page, I'm just going to call it a Divi 5 2 buttons. And we say use Divi Builder. Right, so I'm using Divi 5, so it doesn't prompt me to build from scratch, build with pre-made layouts, or build with AI, but instead that once the Visual Builder is up and running, I can just go to the top left here, click on the plus button, and there we have the options for us. So I'm going to click pre-made layout, and then I'm going to look for the app, I think it is. Yep, there it is right there. And I'm going to say use this layout for the landing page. All right. As that runs through, it's just going to load and put everything in place. And then once that's done, we are going to create it over here. So the beautiful thing now with Divi 5 is that they give you the option of nested rows. So what are nested rows? Nested rows are rows that you can put within inside rows. So if we have this column over here, we can quite easily just add another row. And so in this case now, we're going to add 2 column row here. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to duplicate this button and we're going to drag it down, put it inside there, and take this one and put it inside the other column. All right, then what we're going to do is just take the row settings, and the row settings we're going to go design, sizing, use custom gutter width, and bring that down to 1. And then what we can do, just to keep this very simple, is we just go to the button over here, the second button, we go design, we go spacing, margin, minus 200. That's in the wrong place. No wonder. Minus 200. And that's too much. Let's go minus 100. And there we go. One button next to the other button. So simple, so easy, and so effective. All right, so there's a couple of things you might want to change here. The first being is that you might want to do some custom styles for this particular button. So if I go button background and I take this, I'm just going to grab this color and then I'm going to make it white. All right. Then I'm going to go button border or button color and I'm going to take that blue and I'm just going to put that in over there. I can leave it like that already, or what I can do is I can just do the button border and make that also the blue color. Just change the button border width to 1, and there we go, all done. We can do hover effects if needed. So in Divi 5, how you do a hover effect is that you would click on here and just click here. All right, now any changes that I make on here will be reflected in the hover state. I no longer have to go for each individual setting, but it'll cover right across all. So first thing I want to do is I want to make my border color white. And then I want to do my border background. I want to change that to blue. And my text, I want to change to white. All right. So then let's go back to desktop. Desktop is still like normal. And let's save this and preview. Okay, and preview it. There it is there. If I come into the hover state, there it changes for me. Okay, that one doesn't change because we didn't set anything for that. Okay, so the other thing I just want to show quickly is because I said it's nested states, right? This one here is a bit easier to do because it's already sort of lying in that. But what happens when we have a full row? Like here you can see is a full row. One single big row. Now if I add one here, sorry, no. If I want to add a new module or row, see there? If I go back to the top here, and I hover over here, it says add new module. But if I go down to this full one, it says add new module or row. So let's click on that and see what. Here we see all the modules as usual, right? But what we see extra, a new row. So now if I click in this new row and I make that 2 columns, all still inside this row, then I can see I can still do that same thing. So let's go again. Let's take this button and pull it inside here. Okay, and then let's just duplicate this button and we pull it inside this side. Okay, so we still got the same thing going. Now what we can do is inside this nested row, we can change the sizing, and we can say use custom gutter width. So we want to make sure it's 1, and then 100%. We don't want 100%. Let's make this maximum 400. Not 400%, 400 pixels. There we have them right next to each other already. Okay, and then what we would like to do is spacing, no, content. Just trying to remember where the setting is. Ah, here, row alignment. We want it to the left. And then we have the 2 buttons next to each other on the left hand side. Right, it's so simple to actually do these things now in Divi 5. You have to question yourself and ask, why did we not have this from the beginning? Because this just simplifies things so much. All right, so that's how you can quite easily create 2 buttons next to each other in Divi 5. I really hope you found it helpful and that it makes a difference for you. And if it did, please hit that like button to let me know, because that truly helps me, motivate me to build more, to create more content. So I'm constantly learning, and through the learning I like to share new tips, tricks and tutorials. So be sure to subscribe to join me on this journey and ensure you don't miss out on what's coming next. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.